Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. Do me a favor and share this video. Thank you again for your support. US prepares for long war with China that may strike its bases and homeland. Let me just read this part really quick here. So recent developments indicate that the US is actively preparing for a potential prolonged conflict with the Red Dragon, particularly centered around a possible Red Dragon strike on Taiwan. Military officials and strategic reports highlight the risk of disruptions, the U.S. bases, and a homeland driven by the Red Dragon rapid military buildup and escalating tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. So we are definitely seeing something here, guys. We definitely seeing something. There was a satellite image that came out today. Hopefully I could find it right after I'm done with this article. But it shows U.S. warship getting closer to China. Again, we're talking about almost their territory. All right, so that's how serious it is. And there was a satellite imagery that was released today. All right, so you guys know there's some military training going on, and the Red Dragon, China, has been getting really close to Taiwan and even Australia. All right, so we're going to see what's going on here. So the U.S. military is undertaking significant steps to boost its readiness for a potential conflict with the Red Dragon. As it says here, on May 16, today, 2025, Reuters reported the U.S. Air Force, you have the Brigadier General Doug, commander of the 412th Test Wing, briefed civic leaders at Edward Air Force Base, California, warning of massive disruption in the event of a Red Dragon strike on Taiwan. Now, you have the general emphasized the Red Dragon rapid military growth and its preparation for a major war, signaling that the U.S. bases, including those in the U.S., could face direct impact from the outset of such a biblical war. So you have some very important people really sounding the alarm here. Yesterday I posted a video of the oh man, what do you call that? Notcom general. He's sounding the alarm about Russian allies, and now you have this U.S. Air Force general. He's sounding the alarm. So you do have multiple people here sounding the alarm. So the Wall Street Journal cited in post on X on May the 4th, 2025, noted that the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command is considering scenarios such as a Red Dragon blockade or amphibious invasion of Taiwan. Admiral Samuel, commander of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, stated that while the U.S. could currently defeat the Red Dragon in a Taiwan conflict, the Red Dragon rapid military expansions poses increasing challenges. The U.S. maintains advantage in undersea capability, but is adopting to counter the Red Dragon strategies to isolate combat zones and block access to U.S. forces. I want to go back here really quick. It says here the U.S. could currently defeat the Red Dragon in a Taiwan conflict. All right, so is that true? Can the sleeping giant defeat the Red Dragon? It ain't going to be that easy. It ain't going to be that easy. Remember that China is not Ukraine. China is a very powerful country, and they have very powerful militaries. And but again, the U.S. have their military and allies: Philippines, Japan, South Korea. You got all those countries there that's backing the U.S. and Taiwan. But then you have to worry about this guy named Kim from North Korea, and he's really want to push the button on these against the sleeping giant and their allies. So it ain't gonna be easy. Can the sleeping giant take out the red dragon? I don't. Again, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. It ain't gonna be easy. I mean, because that sea that's loaded with ships and submarine, that thing is gonna be bad. I mean, it's gonna be brutal. And remember, there's no tanks there. That's in the ocean. Everything's gonna be battlefield, like the warships, aircraft, and submarines. It's just gonna be different. And, they're not gonna be invading the Red Dragon, but the battlefield is gonna be Taiwan. I do believe so. I think Taiwan will be the next Crane. All right, so that's going to be a battlefield. And everybody's going to be getting involved in that. So you have the news reported on April 1st, 2025, that the U.S. is upgrading its command structure in Japan to create a warfighting headquarters to enhance joint operation with Japanese forces explicitly aimed at deterring the Red Dragon aggression. This includes coordinating with Japan newly established Joint Operation Command to respond to contingencies. A report to Congress referenced in the Reuters article warned that the risk of simultaneous conflict involving China, North Korea, Russia, and potentially possibly Iran. So it highlighted that a Red Dragon strike on Taiwan could coincide with North Korean aggression, complicating U.S. response efforts. And I just brought their name up. It's not going to be easy. It's just not going to be easy. And boy, oh boy, it's going to be really hard on us. It's going to be really hard on us because we got to deal with those very powerful, the Panda and the Red Dragon. All right. So like I said, those ain't no Ukraine. All right. So you got North K. They do have some ballistic missile, very powerful ones. And then you have the Red Dragon. They have the DF. I think the DF, oh man, I forget the name. The missiles is very strong. And the U.S. is keeping an eye on that one. It's called the DF, the DH, or the DF something. Very powerful one. The report also noted that the U.S. population is unprepared. For disruption in supply chains and services potentially caused by cyber or physical strike on critical infrastructure. Now, the news reported on March 31st, 2025, that the Heritage Foundation warned of U.S. unprecedented unpreparedness for a nuclear conflict with the Red Dragon. And it's true. It's true. The sleeping giant population, the sleeping giant population are not prepared when it comes to incoming nukes. I mean, when was the last time they trained or gave us flyers or told us, know where your bunkers are at? Or, again, they haven't told us to stock up or nothing. So the sleeping giant are not prepared. Sleeping giant population. Now, those powerful people, they are prepared. They are prepared. Oh, they are prepared. They got their underground city, the bunkers. And, $21 trillion was used to fix that thing. They're prepared. They probably got all their stuff underneath that. And look, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Fort Knox. Again, we were told by Elon and Donald, we were told that they were going to live stream if the gold are still in Fort Knox. Yeah, that thing just went under the carpet. And there's a possibility maybe the Fort Knox gold went under the underground city. Yeah. So they're prepared. And by the way, they have the doomsday in the sky all the time. Presidential plane is always up there. The Black Hawk helicopter. They're prepared. Are you prepared? That's the question here, man. Are you prepared? That's a big question. The think tank The think tank outlined a scenario where the Red Dragon could use a tactical nuclear to target the sleeping giant bases such as the Air Force base in Guam to shift the balance in a island conflict. Now the Red Dragon nuclear arsenal is projected to double to over 1,000 warheads by 2030, enhance its strategic and tactical capability. Now, the Red Dragon military exercises around the island, reported by the news on March 31st, 2025, and The Guardian on April 2nd, 2025, demonstrate its capability to simulate blockades and precision strike on key targets like ports and energy infrastructures. These drills involving 71 aircraft, 21 warships, and the Shandong aircraft carrier underscored the Red Dragon intent to deter the island independence movement and test the U.S. resolve. Now, Reuters article emphasized that a conflict with the Red Dragon could directly affect the U.S. bases and the homeland. So once again, you have this person briefing suggested that local communities near military installation such as Edwards Air Force Base should prepare for significant disruption due to cyber, supply chain interruption, or direct strike. This general is sounding the alarm. So military bases are being told to, again, prepare for massive cyber or possibly incoming hits soon. Newsweek reported, excuse me, I skipped something here. The report to Congress echoed this, warning of vulnerabilities in U.S. infrastructure and the need for greater public preparedness. Greater public preparedness. That's what we need. You have all these countries preparing. All these countries being told to stock up and get those, the radiation pill and stuff. That pill is gone. So let's say they tell us to get the radiation pill, the dioxide. I think that's the name of it. I truly apologize if I'm saying it wrong. But those pills are gone. It's way gone. It's gone. Joe gave it to Crane. He gave it to those NATO alliance. Newsweek reported on April 22nd, 2025, that the Red Dragon warnings against U.S. missile deployments in the island facing island indicate the Red Dragon readiness to target U.S. assets in the region. Now, this escalatory rhetoric suggests that the sleeping giant bases in Japan, Guam, and potentially the mainland could become targets in a broader conflict. Boom. I think it's time for Sleeping Giant to start preparing. Because you got some very important people, generals, are sounding the alarm here. Sleeping Giant prepares for a long war with the Red Dragon that may strike its bases and homeland. Now, give me a second here, guys. I know earlier today, I did see imagery of I seen a picture, and I should have saved it too. Give me a second here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I should have saved it. It was like a satellite image. It was like a satellite image. Give me a second here. Give me a second. This was posted today. Ooh, this thing is very long article. U.S. Navy wants sea launch nuke missiles to hold the Red Dragon at bay. Man. The U.S. Navy wants sea launch nuke missiles to hold the Red Dragon at bay. Amid rising nuclear tensions with the Red Dragon, the U.S. Navy is advancing its most consequential theater nuclear weapon in decades. Now it says here whether the equipment will plug U.S. deterrent gaps with the Red Dragon is debatable, while the escalation risk may do more harm than good. Now, in a statement delivered this month before the U.S. House Armed Services Committee, Vice Admiral Johnny Wolf mentioned that the U.S. Navy is set to make a milestone decision in fiscal year 2026 on the Sea Launch Cruise Missile nuclear, aiming for delivery by 2034. That's a long way. That's like 8 years. Alright, so I'm going to share this information here, guys. But, yeah, that's where we at right now. That is where we at. U.S. Navy wants sea launch nuke missile. Wow. Imagine we have the Red Dragon, China, or the Bear, Russia. Imagine their ship in front of NY or California or Florida, and they have nukes on their ship pointed at the sleeping giant. How will you feel, sleeping giant? Will you sleep good at night? But this is where we are right now, guys. These nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom is building up, and is building up really quick. You got very important people sounding the alarm on this one. And we are definitely seeing Bible prophecy happening right in front of our faces. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please share the video. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream. $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on this platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ. For He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.